Hi, hello. Join me for a autistic infodump uh, special interest rant video. I'm going to talk to you about my special interest, which is VHS tapes. Um, you definitely don't have to like watch this. Watch this. Did my arm just? This can be more of like a. Can you hear that? I hear like every toilet in my building just like flushed all at once. Okay. You definitely don't have to like watch this video. This can totally be like second screen background noise kind of thing. I just really want to. I like hearing people talk about what they're interested in, and I'm just going to talk about VHS tapes. Um, uh, I realized recently being about 45 minutes ago, that I have a lot of Christmas VHS tapes, and I want to just show them off. Uh, so join me. Where do we begin? Let's begin with the cartoons, classic cartoons. Um, Possibly the most classic of them all is A Charlie Brown Christmas. I actually watched this for the first time the other day. Um, I watched it next to the tree with the on the little TV there. I think it was very sweet. I watched it with my wife as we had our dinner. Very sweet. Um, but not only do I have one, I also have the clamshell version as well. Um, Very nice to have both. The packaging is the exact same on the back and the front. It's a little. Oh, nope. It is the same on the side, too. Pretty much. That's fun. This is very sweet. I really enjoyed this movie. Um, the humor, I don't know what it is, but I genuinely like laughed out loud so many times watching this. Um, I think the character's name is Linus. He has a little blanket that he carries with him all the time. My wife and I said at the same time, like, just that is you, because my wife is also autistic, and Linus is definitely very autistic. But my wife also had a blanket that they carried around with them 24/7 when they were a kid. Like they literally had a blanket that like was just torn to shreds that they took with them everywhere. And um when it was so dilapidated, like it was just down to just string, their parents bought them a new blanket. That was the exact same one. It was brand new and fresh, but they hated that blanket. They wanted nothing to do with it. They would cry when it would come near them because they wanted the little stringy blanket they had. Oh my God, Christmas is ruined. Um, so as for more cartoons, we also have How the Grinch Stole Christmas, one of the more classic from 1966. When was when was this from? 65. So big decade for cartoon Christmas experiences. Um, what more is there to say than the original, the classic How to Grinch Stole Christmas cartoon? See, this was narrated by Boris Karloff, and the song. Who sang the song? I know it wasn't Boris. Right? Right? Was it? I thought the song was sang by someone else. I don't know. But for the longest time, I thought like James Earl Jones had a part in this. Like growing up, I just like thought that a voice in this sounded like James Earl Jones, and I was like, oh yeah, How the Grinch Stole Christmas with James Earl Jones, and people were like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, you know, How the Grinch Stole Christmas with James Earl Jones. Nope, wrong. Then we also have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, a Christmas classic. It says so right there. Christmas has been canceled. FHE, Family Home Entertainment. Now that is a callback. Burl Ives, told and sung by Burl Ives. I love Burl Ives. He is so. I love Burl Ives. I have about 6 vinyls that are Burl Ives, and I remember when I bought this from the garage sale. The lady who put on the garage sale, I bought this at a garage sale. The lady put it on. She was like, "Oh, Burl Ives. I love that Burl Ives." I was like, "Me too." But so I have a bunch of his like vinyls and albums and cassettes of his. But it was one of Burl. It was one of those don't look up your heroes on Wikipedia moments because um I I was like I just wanted to know more about him, you know, and and then I was like controversies, and I was like, oh no, and he in the 50s he was accused of being a communist, and the FBI asked him, they were like, "Are you a communist?" And he said, "No, I'm not a communist, but I can tell you who is." Burla. Burla. But then I think he and his pal that he kind of ratted out made up later in life, um, if I recall correctly. So I guess he was redeemed. Burl. And then up next we have Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. Do you remember watching this on Cartoon Network every Christmas? I remember watching this on Cartoon Network every Christmas, and um, I remember thinking it was really weird, but the past couple years when I've been wrapping gifts, I've just like put this on in the background. It's been nice. Does anyone else remember Olive the Other Reindeer? That was another cartoon that was on Cartoon Network like every year. It was a dog whose name was Olive. And I think Olive killed Rudolph in a hit and run or something, and then had to take his place. And the dog was like, "I'm Olive the Other Reindeer." Kind of like this song. Okay, so this is almost a cartoon, right? We've got the Muppet Christmas Carol. I've not seen this. Most of the movies I own, I haven't seen. I have not seen a Muppet Christmas Carol, but I did buy it for $1.88. Wasn't that an awful sound? Yuck. Ew. I think this clamshell is part of a smoker's home. Sometimes you get that with VHS tapes. Sometimes they were in a smoker's home for 30 years or so. And then they get this nice layer of smoke dust on the top. I don't smell anything. But there you go. We have this in clamshell. I don't have it in a slipcover. I don't know if it exists in a slipcover. Maybe I ought to watch this. I love the Muppets. They're so funny, aren't they? They're so funny. We also have A Christmas Story. I've seen this in slipcovers, but they were always sold for slipcovers being the paper one, not the plastic one. I've seen this in slipcovers a couple times, but they were not sold at reasonable prices. They were like more than $5, and I was like, I don't need that if I already have it on clamshell. But I really like this movie. I don't know. I like it. I think it's very... What the fuck? What the fuck? That is scary. That is scary. So we've got the classic cover, and then like you don't like you never look at things very closely. Like you kind of like glance at it, and it's like, yeah, there's the mom, there's the dad, there's the kid, and it's like, yeah, there's those things. But then you look closely, and what is that? The chimney? Is that Santa coming out of the chimney? You turn it upside down, and it's horrifying. I don't know if you can see that. That's horrifying. Why does he look like that? Ugh. You weren't supposed to do that. You weren't supposed to turn that upside down. Anyway, we're gonna finish. We're gonna transition. We're gonna transition from clamshell to slipcover totally. With How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I mentioned this in my last VHS tape video, but it's relevant. Got How the Grinch Stole Christmas and How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the live action ones. Jim Carrey. Sorry. Just what more is there to say? This movie is so interesting to me. It is so... There's no movie like this movie. Just in terms of production design and, like, acting and, like, costuming and music. This is such a unique, timeless movie. Like, this feels like it could have been made at any point in history. Fascinating little film. Okay, I've got a stack here of pretty, pretty standard. These are, I think, these are my last regular standard Christmas ones. Because coming up, I have Christmas tapes that surprise me or I am excited or surprised to have. And then I've got controversial Christmas VHS tapes. So stay tuned for that. But here we've got one of my favorite movies of all time. Not just a favorite Christmas movie, but favorite movies of all time. It's a Wonderful Life. Just so good, man. Like, listen. Ever since I started estrogen, it's been easier for me to cry and access my feelings, right? But even before estrogen, this movie, every time I watched it, I would just bawl my eyes out. Just the just the camaraderie at the end of the movie when everyone... I'm going to start crying now after he, oh God, I actually can't talk about it. I'm gonna start crying. I love this movie so much. It truly is a wonderful life, isn't it? Original uncut version. What's the cut version? Nominated for 5 Academy Awards. That's good. Did it win? I would have said if it won. Sucks. Snubbed. So, now we have Home Alone and Home Alone 2. Classics. Probably, this is, when I grew up, like, watching, like, if it was, like, a Christmas movie, like, let's throw on a Christmas movie, this is what I would have thought of when I was younger. Like, for some reason, I, like, only ever watched Home Alone. Not only ever, but this was, like, what I thought of when I thought of a Christmas movie growing up. Are they moldy? Sometimes tapes get moldy. Not moldy. I haven't watched these in a really long time, though. Ooh, I bought this one at a garage sale as well. $2. That's a bit steep. That is a bit steep. But I didn't have it, and I think I wanted it, It's like, it's a garage. Pepsi proof of purchase? I don't know what these little proof of purchase tabs are. I really don't know what they mean or what they are. Is that Alcoholics Anonymous? AA proof of purchase? What? Me when I don't have my Alcoholics Anonymous proof of purchase? But anyway, I bought this at a garage sale, and like when I buy tapes from somewhere, I usually like remember it for some reason, and I every time I drive past the house um that had the garage sale that I bought this from, I say to my wife, I'm like, that's the house where I bought that's the house where I bought Home Alone from on VHS. And they say, I know, I know it is. And then we have the Santa Claus and the Santa Claus 2. Santa Claus 2, 1, 2, 3 came out at the time where a lot of movies had the first two on VHS, but the third one was not released on VHS. I have Spider-Man 1 and 2 on VHS, not Spider-Man 3, because 2 came out in 2004, 3 came out in 2007, and they stopped in 2006 making VHS tapes. This came out in 2003, and I think the third one came out in 2007, 2006, 8, 9, I don't know. It was past 2006 though. Star Wars 2. The prequels 1, 2 on VHS, not 3. Even though the third Star Wars came out in 2005, when it went to home release, it was like right at the cutoff point. Such a shame. Such a shame. Fun fact about Christmas tapes, though, is that... Oh. Oh my god. Save $4 by mail when you buy Santa Claus 2 DVD or video plus any 10 eligible Royal or My Tea Fine desserts. Save $4 if you buy this movie and a bunch of pudding. Well, the person who bought this did not cash it in. It's also expired by almost 22 years. But look at, oh my god. Oh. Look at this little booklet. What? Lion King 1.5 exclusive mini storybook. Do you really want to know how Simba became king in The Lion King? Well, The Lion King 1.5 reveals the story behind the story. You'll learn all about it as you read Timon's diary, which we found under the rubble of a hyena graveyard. Day 1. Dear Diary, it's me, Timon. You know, that mischievous meerkat with exciting news. What? This just fell out of the Santa Claus 2. And I know it's a tie-in because there it is, Santa Claus 2. Free Disney DVD when you buy 3 Disney DVDs. Ooh. This offer's bad for 22 years. Damn it. But yeah, this has Timon's diary in it. For you the Lion King 1.5 heads out there. I've got it. I've got it. Anyway, as I was saying, Christmas tapes are usually in extremely pristine condition because people only brought these out like once a year, you know? If they even brought them out. So these late release Christmas tapes are normally like in really good quality, really good condition. Oops. Oh, God. Like, this is really, really good condition. So, it's the same with just cassette tapes, like audio cassette tapes. I have Christmas cassettes that I like to listen to around this time of year, and a lot of them are in very good condition, very pristine, because people didn't really bring them out, you know? Now we are going to enter into the rare into the rare and controversial section of the show today. This one, we're going to start with rare. I don't know if this is actually rare, but it seems kind of rare to me. I've only seen this once, and here it is. Ernest Saves Christmas. Remember Ernest? When I look at any Ernest tape, all I see is like YouTube thumbnail reaction face. I think Ernest pioneered the YouTuber reaction face, thumbnail reaction face. Like, look at that. That is so thumbnail core. Anyway, that's Ernest. I almost missed this because I have so many piles of VHS tapes, and I was like, I better look through them all. So, we also have the Polar Express. When I found this in the thrift store, I gasped out loud because I was looking for this. I was so excited because this is a late release, 2005. That is almost as late as they get. 2005, the Polar Express. Very exciting. I was very, very, very happy to find this. I love this. This is one of my favorite tapes to have. It is, like, I love this movie too. I know maybe this should be in the controversial section because some people hate this movie so much, but I love it. I love this movie. Wait. There's a hidden message. Like, somebody wrote something on a piece of paper and it was on top of this. Someone did math on this. Like, budgeting, or I feel like it was a kid though. This looked like a kid's handwriting. Because I can see like $4.95. There's dollar signs and cent signs. Someone totally like added up their money or something. You're not going to be able to see this. I really don't know if I should even try, but it's in there. That is, that's so funny. I never noticed that. $25 plus something. So fun. I love finding things like that. Isn't that cute? So also, this movie was released in 2003, but for some reason I didn't think it was released on VHS, but it was. We got Elf. Elf was, in fact, released on VHS because I'm holding it. It was, I believe, about 2003, 2004. I think this VHS tape was made in 2004, but I'm pretty sure the movie released in 2003. Fun fact about some late releases have the date of production printed on the side. So I can actually see that this was made on October 4th, 2004 at 9:54 p.m. is when this tape was made exactly. That's fun. So we also have Madagascar, sealed. Christmas. This isn't a Christmas movie. No, it's not. But it comes with the penguins of Madagascar and a Christmas caper within the tape. I don't know if it's before or after the movie, but it does have the Christmas short film featuring the Madagascar penguins. That's where I learned a lot of things from that movie, from the Christmas caper. I learned what eggnog was. I learned what... Okay, prepare yourself for the controversial Christmas tape section of this video. I don't know exactly. There's some that I omitted on my own accord because they're not even Christmas movies. They're just snow movies, you know? Like The Day After Tomorrow. that just has a lot of snow in it. Fargo, that just has a lot of snow in it. Misery, that just has a lot of snow in it. Not Christmas, so I didn't even include them. You're welcome. I know you're worried. But I know this is a controversial take. But I really have no stake in this because I've never seen either of these movies. I might have to redo this bit because this guy has a sticker on the front and back of Die Hard that has his address on it. Okay. Well, Die Hard and Die Hard 2. So, and you don't get to see that guy's address, whether he is or not living there anymore. But I understand arguments for and against these being Christmas movies. But they do say the word Christmas on the back of both of the tapes. So, that's controversial. I've never seen either of these movies. Maybe I should. Maybe I can actually form a strong opinion about that. Now this. Jack Frost. I've never seen this movie. This may just be a snow movie. But I've never seen this movie. But I've seen the previews a lot and watching other Christmas movies, and this movie was heavily featured in the previews. So, and also there's a very Christmas spirit about it. I think a man has his soul implanted into a snowman. So, that's got a very Christmassy vibe to it. He's the world's coolest dad, and he's gonna prove it. Oh yeah, he is. Michael Keaton is a rock and roll dad, aren't we all? So this... Can anyone tell me if they've ever seen or heard of this before? The Cat in the Hat Gets Grinched. Formerly released as The Grinch Grinches the Cat in the Hat. The Grinch is a Christmas character. The Grinch is just a Christmas character, right? His memorabilia and merchandise only comes out around at Christmas time. So think of it like if Santa was on the front of something, you would immediately associate that with Christmas, right? So this is so interesting. I don't know what this is. I've never heard of this. I've never seen this before. Fully animated by Dr. Seuss. Huh. When the Grinch and the Cat in the Hat cross paths, their conflicting natures set the stage for a zany rivalry. The cantankerous Grinch is determined to use his collection of grouchy gadgets to Grinch the Cat in the Hat. But the frisky feline is more than up to the task of ungrinching the Grinch. I don't see the word Christmas on the back of this, but, fascinating. If anyone's seen this, let me know if it's worth a watch. Now this is controversial. Jesus Christ Superstar. That is actually the end of my... That is the end of my list of Christmas tapes that I have. If you may say, hey, what about this movie? If I didn't mention a movie, it's actually because I don't own it on VHS. Thank you for watching and listening to me ramble. I hope you enjoyed this a little bit. I enjoy listening to people ramble. Kind of like a podcast episode, just listening, But thank you for being here, and I hope you have a good holiday season.